Week 35 Mounjaro results, and can I claim that 5-stone award? Hi, Kerry here, and this is my Mounjaro journey. First and foremost, I want to thank all my new and returning subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. I also appreciate all the comments and all the likes. If you've got any questions or want to tell me about your journey, whether it's Mounjaro, whether it's Ozempic, Wegovy, or using like Slimming World, or I was going to say Weight Watchers, but they're not around anymore, or any other type of slimming club. We're all in this journey together of losing weight, of getting healthier, getting fit for whatever reason, whether it's our own health or whether it's because we want to spend time with our children or our grandchildren. This is a wonderful thing. That's all I can say. So this week's been pretty hectic, like every other week. I've had a lot going on with both my house, my brother's house, appointments, all that jazz, and the heat as well. I think the heat is probably a reason why a lot of people are not losing weight or are staying the same or even gaining weight. It could be water retention. That's come up a lot in the community of my prescriber, and I think that there is definitely something to it, because despite you drinking plenty of water, you're still retaining a lot of fluid. So this week's been interesting. I had a phone call from my doctor. Only an annual review. I get one of these every year, therefore it's called annual. It's a 3-pronged review with me. It might be a 2-pronged, but with me it's go and see the nurse, have your bloods done, get weighed, have your blood pressure and everything tested, and then the doctor will phone you. So in my case, the doctor phones after the celiac nurse phoned. So she phoned up and she asked how I was doing. In fact, in all cases, they're really impressed with how much weight I've lost. And the nurse and both the celiac nurse said, "How have you done this?" And I said, "Mounjaro." Very open about it, talk about it to every medical staff I meet. Open with them, not open with other people. And there's a reason for that. But I tell them because I think they need to know. I also like the fact that they've got it on my records to say that she's on Mounjaro. But the doctor, usually it's me that makes the first step that says, "I'm on Mounjaro." But when he phoned, he confirmed that I was who I am and that it was the annual review and all that. And then first thing he said to me, "You're on Mounjaro. How are you finding it?" And I was like a bit thrown, because it's usually me. I says, "It's great. I've lost 5 stone and I'm feeling wonderful. My blood pressure is virtually normal. I'm still on blood pressure tablets, but my results are normal. They're usually about 126/80. I'm also on statins, but my cholesterol is back down to 1.3. He wants to keep me on them for a bit, but he's going to review it again. And he says, "We're really impressed with what it's doing." He says, "Your liver results are back great," because I had fatty liver disease. He says, "It's in reverse. Your chronic kidney disease has drastically improved. Obviously, your blood pressure has improved now." Blood pressure is usually linked with chronic kidney disease. It's like a vicious circle. They join together. So he asked me, he said, how are you feeling with everything? And I feel great, because I used to have migraines. Only something I started with when I was 30. And then I also had cluster headaches, but I don't get them now. I don't get migraine. I don't get cluster headaches. I generally just, and I said that to him. I said, "It is truly a miracle drug." And he says, "Yes, you're right. It truly is for people that can take it and who have that issue of a larger BMI of 27 or 30, depending on your health conditions." So we had a nice chat about that. But there's other things, like positivity. I feel positive about different things and I don't procrastinate anymore. Like when I bought this house, I fell in love with it, and then I got the shock that 100 grand was the quote from the builders. And yeah, no, I can't afford that. I can't afford 20 grand, near mind 100 grand. But anyway, I'm like, before I would have been upset, I'd have been, the doom would have come down, because I do suffer from depression. It hits me every few years, and I'm a functioning depressive. I get up, still carry on, still keep, but the doom, the dark clouds would have come, but it didn't. I spent probably half an afternoon of, oh, what did I do? Why did I invest in? And then I thought, no, you invested in it because you fell in love with a beautiful property that you can bring back to life and make it just as beautiful and an enjoyment for you and your family. And you need to make plans. So that's what I did. Monday, in that extreme heat, I spent it indoors in the morning because it was really hot in the morning, and also really thankful that I didn't have to go to the gym. My gym instructor couldn't fit me in on Monday. Thankful, because there's no air conditioning at the gym. So I was like, yep. Sat down, made a load of phone calls, rang different people up, different specialists, organised a roofer to go over and check the roof and tell me things that I knew was wrong and I needed confirming. I spoke to a structural engineer who put me in touch with a building engineer, who then put me in touch with another damp engineer, all different people that we've solved all the issues. A tree surgeon, I made an appointment with him. He, being during the week, his price was a lot less than I thought it was for these two huge trees that need to come out of the property. At the back, pretty dangerous. They're making a wall dangerous, so it needs to come down. Then I've had the drainage people out. I was worried about the drains because of these two trees. I was worried about root ingress. No root ingress. Yes, celebrate. No drain blockage. Yes, celebrate. Not an issue as of yet. If I want to extend the property or anything like that in the future, then I may need somebody to come along and move the drain. But that's a future issue. So that with Mounjaro gives me that positivity to move on. That's a great non-scale victory. And speaking of non-scale victories, this week I've worn a dress. I've worn a dress a few times. I don't normally wear dresses, especially in summer. And the reason being is because of chub rub. Yes, chub rub is a real thing. And in the past, when I've worn dresses in summer, I've either had to put shorts on, put cream on because I've had blisters down in between my thighs. It's not pleasant. So for quite a few years, I've gone, why wear a dress? So I've worn crop trousers and things like that. But this time, I've worn a dress. And I haven't had chub rub. I haven't even worn a pair of shorts underneath to avoid chub rub. Just me and my milk bottle legs. Yes, my mum keeps saying I need to get some soft tanning lotion, which I think I might need to. I might scare small children away with how white my milk bottle legs are. So those have all been non-scale victories. Now, something else. I have been going to the gym since March of 2024. I've started right at the end of March, just as Easter was beginning, because I was determined to do something about my weight. And yes, it took me 5 months to lose a stone, but I was getting fitter and healthier and more mobile with doing a lot of strength training because I went 3 times a week. Then I came down to 2 times a week because I've been so busy with everything that goes on, everybody's normal life. So this week was actually my last time working out at this particular gym and working with these particular personal trainers. Number of reasons. My favourite personal trainer is leaving at the end of the month, and he is setting up his own business, which I think is fab, and wishing him all the luck in the world. But I won't be following him. I wish I was, but the reason I'm not is because I'll be moving nearer to where my new home is that I need to do up, which is a 50-minute drive there and back to come back here to do a workout and come twice a week. And also the costs, like I finished it this week because I would have to renew again for another 3 months. And I pay the equivalent of £450 a month to go to the gym to have a personal trainer. Now, that is a huge cost. I cannot keep affording that, especially when I'm trying to do up my property. In fact, it's equivalent to a brand new double glazed window. So I need to cut costs elsewhere. I've cut costs with all sorts of things. So unfortunately, that's one thing. I've already got something else lined up. I used to do a yoga called DDP Yoga. I've got the videos and everything lined up with that. And I've also bought a thing called Gym Pro Lux, and it's got an app and it's all these stretching bands and things like that. So you're doing strength training. So the yoga will be cardio and strength training because it's a special type of yoga. It's all about using your body as a resistance. So it is a type of strength training. And it was designed by a wrestler called Diamond Dallas Page. I've actually done an hour's workout with him. And he said many years ago when I did this workout with him that I would struggle to lose weight. Because at the time when I did that workout with him, I was more fitter than I am now because I used to go to the gym every day. I used to do that yoga every day. I used to walk absolute miles, but I was still obese. And he said to me, you will always struggle to lose weight because you can't get your heart rate up into that fat burning zone. So I don't know. I need to look into the science of that. I believe that is true because the only thing that has made a difference for me is Mounjaro. That's why I take it. That's why when people say, oh, there's a risk of cancer, of all, yes, but obesity is a risk in itself. So which risk do you take? In fact, walking is a risk because you might get knocked down when you try to cross the road. A tree might fall on you. A bird might drop something on top of your head that knocks you out and kills you. Life is a risk. So choose your battles. That's what I say. So let's move on to this week's weight loss. Now, so let's start with the starting weight. My starting weight was 100 kilograms, 15 stone, 10.4 pounds, or 220 pounds. Last week's weight, where I actually put on, was 68.7 kilograms, or 10 stone, 11.5 pounds, or 151.2 pounds. I've rounded that up because it's 151.14, but I'm rounding it up. This week, I have lost weight. I now weigh 67.5 kilograms or 10 stone, 8.8 pounds. That means I've hit that 5 stone award again. Yes. Or 148.5 pounds. Now that means I've lost 1.2 kilograms or 2.7 pounds. I'm extremely happy with that. I didn't think I would lose weight because this week I've upped my calories. It wasn't planned. It was just what I ate. I ate a lot more fruit than I normally eat. I love fruit, but I ate more because of this beautiful weather. I had melons, I had kiwis, I had banana and custard. Because my mum read an article about a 106-year-old man that has custard every day, and he says that's what kept him alive for 106 years. Birds, custard has given him a year's supply. I think Asda has given him a year's supply of custard as well. So we had that, banana and custard. We've had strawberries and cream as well. Plus, I've eaten cake. I had 2 cupcakes. I had 1 cupcake on Thursday, 1 cupcake on Friday. Saturday we went off to a fete, which was an annual event. It's always on at the first weekend in July. I'll put a video shot of what goes on. So I had cake there. gluten-free lemon drizzle cake. Absolutely beautiful, a bit sweet. And then another lady had made a banana loaf, and I thought, well, I've got to have that. But I didn't eat it there. I says, do you think you could wrap it up so I can take it home for tomorrow? So I've had that today. I've had a banana and ginger loaf. I've enjoyed it. And you know what? I didn't feel guilty about it, because I'm trying not to think of this as a diet. I'm trying to think of this as a way of life, as being normal, as being able to enjoy some food without feeling guilty about it, as just part of life. That yes, you can have a piece of cake. No, don't have it every single day. Although I've had a piece of cake for 4 days in a row. It will probably stop next week. I did go to the cinema today and didn't have any popcorn. So, I make my choices, and that is what it's all about. This gives us the chance to choose whether we want something or not, and we can say no without feeling guilty, and we can say yes without feeling guilty either. That might take months on your journey to get to that point, to be, I don't feel guilty. I've had a piece of cake. I've enjoyed it. Rest of my meals are going to be really good. Today, I've had a really good breakfast. I have the same breakfast every day. You'll see pictures of that. It's basically Nutribix starts off with, which is equivalent to non-gluten Weetabix. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's an acquired taste. I don't put any sweeteners on. I have it with milk. That's my protein. It's also my carbs. Then I have Greek yogurt. I also add half a scoop of protein powder to that, which then gives me like 20 grams of protein. And then I chuck a bit of fruit in with that. So raspberries, blueberries, all that good stuff. Like lunch is usually a salad with a bit of cold meat or a bit of chicken, or baby bell, maybe cottage cheese. Sometimes I had a period where I went off cottage cheese. But anyway, that is what I'm eating. I choose to be much more healthier. And then when I want a treat, I have one. Don't feel guilty about it. So that is my week. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you haven't suffered from any side effects or anything like that. If you have, put them down in the comments. We can all help one another with ideas and solutions to stop, like sulfur burps for me was when I'd had too fatty foods. So I've cut a lot of fatty foods out, even though I have had some sausages. I had some last week. But all different things. We as a community are all here to help one another achieve something different for ourselves. Something that makes us feel good about who we are. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a great week. I hope that even though today's been raining, hence the reason I went to the cinema, you have a good week and the sun comes out and we can wear dresses, shorts, t-shirts and feel good about being in hot weather rather than suffering like we normally do. Have a good one.